this is Jo from Maths Tutor Me. Today we are doing circles and cylinders and we're going to do a revision today. We've finished all of our work, we've done all of the new work, so we're just going to go through and do a question from each of the things that we've learned and see if you can remember everything. So you can pause the video and try all the questions on your own if you like, or you can watch me and work along with me if you prefer. Okay, so question number 1, we want to draw a circle and correctly label the chord, an arc, a segment and a sector. Okay, so we need to draw our own circle. So if you have your own pair of compasses, now's the time to get them out. Separate the 2 points a little bit. The best way to draw a circle is to put your point wherever you want your circle to be. Instead of moving the compasses, tilt your compasses slightly to the side and swing your paper around. And then you get a nice circle like that. Okay, so we want to draw on there a chord. So a chord is a line that goes from one side of the circle to another. That there is an example of a chord. An arc is a section of the circumference, so it can be as big or as small as you like, but a chunk of the edge of the circle like that is an arc. A segment is the area cut off by a chord. So remember, there is a major and a minor segment. I'm just going to label this minor segment here. So that bit there is a segment. And a sector is like you're cutting this like a pie or a pizza. So a wedge cut out. The area of that wedge in there, that section, is a sector. Okay, that's done. Let's look at question 2. Calculate the circumference of a circle with a diameter of 18 centimeters. Well, we have 2 formulas for circumference, but we want the formula that has the diameter, which is the formula C is equal to pi d. So all we have to do is put the 18 in where the d is, so it's pi times 18, and calculate. So on the calculator, pi times 18 is, we'll do 2 decimal places, 56.55 centimeters, because it's the distance around the circle, so it's just centimeters, not centimeters squared or centimeters cubed. Question 3, find the arc length correct to 1 decimal place. Now arc length, we had a formula for that. It was L for length is equal to theta over 360 times by 2 pi r. Okay, the theta is the angle that we have, so we have 118 degrees over 360 times by 2 pi times by the radius, which is 6.5. Okay, on the calculator, oops, my calculator's just gone into a different mode. So we'll just clear that. So we have 118 over 360. To 1 decimal place, 13.4 centimeters. Okay, question 4, find the distance around the track to the nearest meter. So again, this is a perimeter question. We're still doing circumference of circles here. So we have half a circle and another half a circle. Altogether we have a full circle. So the perimeter, or the distance, I have the diameter as well. So I want to use the circumference form that has the diameter, which is the same one that I used over here. So it's going to be pi times by d, which in this case is 18, and that will give me the two ends. But to get the whole distance, I also have to add on the straight sides. So I have to add on 32 and another one. Okay, on the calculator, pi times 18 plus 32 plus 32. It says to the nearest meter, so I'll have to round that up to be 121 meters. Okay, let's have a look at question 5. We want to find the area of the shape below, correct to 2 decimal places. We have 2 different sized circles here. We have a large circle and we have 2 smaller half circles here. To do the area, we need to know the radius of the circles. So this 18.4 is actually the diameter of the big circle. If we divide that by 2, we will find the radius, which is this length here, of the big circle, which is 9.2. But we're also going to need the radius of the little circle, which would be from there to there, which means we would have to halve that again. So this little radius here is 4.6 meters. Okay, so to find the area, let's do one of the circles at a time. Let's start with the big circle. It's half of a circle, so we need to put a half in front of our formula. And the formula for a circle for the area is pi r squared. So pi times by the radius of the big circle was 9.2 squared. Okay, so that's this big half circle here done. Now we want to look at these 2 little ones. Now, half and a half, that means we actually have a whole circle for this little circle. So I can go plus, and it's pi r squared again, just with the smaller radius. Pi times by 4.6 squared. Okay, let's type that in. Half times pi times 9.2 squared plus pi times 4.6 squared. Correct your 2 decimal places. We have 199.43. We're doing area now, so we need to have meters squared. In question 6, we want to find the area of a sector, correct to 1 decimal place. The area of a sector formula is theta over 360 times by the area of a circle formula, which is pi r squared. So all we need to know is the angle, how much of the circle we have, which is 290 degrees. We divide that by 360 times by pi, and we need to know the radius, which is 7.8 squared. Let me type that in. 290 over 360 times pi times 7.8 squared. Correct to 1 decimal place. 150. The 1 decimal place, the 6 after wants to round that up, and we have to round that up again. 154.0. The units are centimeters squares. Okay, question 7. Find the volume of the cylinder, correct to the nearest cubic centimeter. The volume of a cylinder, our formula is pi r squared h. So we need to know the radius of the circle. We have the diameter, and the other catch here is that that's in millimeters. We need to find our measurement here in cubic centimeters. So we need this to be in centimeters here. So to change millimeters to centimeters, you divide by 10, and because I want the radius, I will need to divide that by 2. Okay, so that will be 3.25 centimeters. Okay, so now we can substitute our numbers in. pi times by 3.25 squared times by the height, which is 7.2. Into the calculator. Pi times 3.25 squared times 7.2 to the nearest cubic centimetre. So we would round this up to be 239 centimetres cubed. And question 8, our last question today. Find the volume of a cylindrical vase that is 18 centimetres deep and has a radius of 8 centimetres. Give your answer correct to the nearest mil. So a cylindrical vase, it's a cylinder. It's 18 centimetres tall and it has a radius of 8 centimetres. Okay, we want to find how much it can contain, how many mils can this vase contain. So we start with our volume formula. Okay, we've got the radius and the height, so we can substitute those in. And calculate. Pi times 8 squared times 18. 3,600, it says to the nearest mil, we can round that to 19. Now that is centimetres cubed, but we learned that centimetres cubed are the same as millilitres, so that's the same as 3,619 millilitres. And that's it, that's the end of our little revision of this topic. Join me next time and I'm going to have some challenge questions for you. Bye for now.